I am so glad to be cleared of all these child pornography charges. That kid just fell from the ceiling into my lap, and the jury agreed. Let this be a lesson to all of us. Children falling from ceilings into your greased up naked lap can happen to anyone. But now, just like Brittany, I am back, bitches.
Welcome back, Craig. I knew it wouldn't stick. You're no Danny Masterson. Yours can't fight back.
Triggers. If the finger trap doesn't fit, you must acquit. Congratulations, buddy. Just remember this. It's in the spank bank already, and they can't take that away from you.
Steroids, Ozempic, and rat tranquilizers have turned this once beefy meatball into a lean, bobble-headed pork rib. When you hear the name Craig, please only think of pedophilia January 6th and steroids. That is my brand baby.
They once said there was a giant ginger pedo from a conservative radio show who beat the charges against him. His name was Ho J. him's son.
Well, it is a triumph for justice that Craig is again walking these streets. Although you will not get near my children, you weirdo. Family.
It is so good to be back. Now, here's your host, the man who, out of 5 billion people in the world, chose me to tie his future to. Blind Mike Geary.
I mean, there's just no way we're monetized, right?
A lot going on there.
We're demonetized already. Is that the goal of the intros now? Just child porn right out of the gate. All right, good.
This is really accusatory.
I mean, well, it was all perfectly accurate. It was all pinpoint. It's funny that you recorded saying that. I'm surprised you would say all that into a camera. All those truth bombs.
Yeah, all really be. You should see the outtakes.
But, yeah, just for future reference, I don't know that starting on child porn. Listen, I'm not going to cower to YouTube's tyranny. I don't like what they're doing with policing language and all this stuff. You know, they're trying to get, or they have NFL games and they're trying to get baseball. So they're trying to be more, you know, a little more PC, a little more corporate. And I'm not going to give in to that. But I also don't want to beg to be demonetized right out of the gate. So maybe next week's intro, we don't start with child porn. That's all I ask.
Yeah, especially false accusations. That should be the driving force of this conversation, I think.
Oh, I didn't hear any of those. What was the false accusation? No. You misunderstood. The intro, I thought, was all accurate. I was talking about the intro we just played.
You're right.
All that accurate information.
None of that was true.
All the real news that we just reported. That's all fine.
Yeah. Like your Danny Masterson comment. That was a nice touch.
Yes. Well, it's topical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of you two a lot together. When I think of one, I think of the other.
That's not right.
I'll tell you, Hack Ride, this new show, Hack Ride does a show Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
11 p.m. Eastern for you folks looking for it out there. Puzzle Box. Go subscribe to Hack Ride. I think it's going to break him or take him away from us or something, because this guy, his stream was down for a little while, and you would think his family was slaughtered. He's like, I'm going to be taking some time off.
I know, I've been calling it the broadcast blues.
There'll be an intro for you in the drive, but I don't know how much more I can stomach. I'm like, you all right, man?
That's what I said to him. I was like, this happens all the time.
He's downtrodden. Don't beat yourself up, buddy. I said to him, it's always more overwhelming and seems like a bigger deal in the moment. And he's like, that's just the thing I can't handle. Well, I tried. Keep your chin up, pal. Hack Ride, we're praying for you out there. But, Hack Ride, no Hack Ride game or anything. He's not with us this week. So in order to fill in, it's a man who is completely ripping off Hack Ride's bit. Hack Ride was the first weird character to make wacky games for a podcast, and then we get this guy trying to rip off his... It always happens in podcasting. You know, this guy comes and tries to make a name for himself, stealing Hack Ride's gimmick. It's Cardiff Electric, everybody.
That's an inaccurate statement.
I really did everything I could. It's going to go down as the jump the shark moment for the show, because I waited as long as I could. I said, every show has Cardiff on. We can't. And then I figured the numbers don't lie. This guy, he moves merchandise. He puts asses in the seats.
I do sell tickets.
Yes.
For some reason, I do sell tickets. And I will be debuting a brand new karaoke song here today.
Ooh.
No, I wouldn't
didn't
waste
realize
that on this shit. I wouldn't waste that here. That's for my members only, Mike.
Well, how do you feel about Hack Ride? Do you get along with him, or do you feel he stole your gimmick?
We can. I don't believe we're going down the exact same roadway, but I think we're generally traveling in the same direction, and I can live with him in this universe.
Good. Yeah, I guess you don't make demonic threats and and go after people on Twitter the way he has been. Hack Ride's getting dangerous on Twitter.
Yeah, his
And I
answer
don't do
to
shows
that
Thursday nights where I spend 3 hours making a puzzle. Is that what he does? Just a demon and a puzzle, 1,000 pieces.
No, we all love Hack Ride, and we're praying.
I
for him
like
out
his
there.
sense of humor. But
Cardiff, before we get into it today, we're having you on for a specific topic I figured you would want to get into. But before we do that,
sex.
Well, that's afterwards. That's when Craig takes the
blind
reins.
sex. It's my big fetish.
It's the post show.
You specifically asked me not to bring this up, but I'm not going to be pushed around on my own show. How do you address the Johnny Cush allegations of manslaughter?
The only way I can. No comment.
It's probably smart. It's probably smart legally, I think.
My lawyers who are defending me in the prosecution for the manslaughter charges have said that I must say no comment.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed in Johnny Cush because, like, yesterday, I guess he tagged me in something on Twitter, not looking for attention at all, by the way.
No.
He's like, he has a video of like some homeless guy going nuts, and he's like, "This is Cardiff Electric," and it's like, oh, so you've just been pretending the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. For a while, I thought it was like a bit, like he was a little crazy, but he was being real, and it's like, oh, now it's make believe.
Yeah, if anyone can respect somebody making up a grand story to get some attention from a podcast, it's me.
Sure, but try to make it believable, for God's sake.
He just doesn't. I don't know. There's just something missing from his entire.
Exactly. Yeah, the instincts aren't terrible. It's just his execution, much like Tom Myers-esque, I would say, in that sense, where there's this cloud of delusion over him that prevents him from being like funny or interesting.
Yes.
All right, so we have to get into this today. When I do transitions today, by the way, Craig has a tough time. Craig and Hack Ride have had they've butted heads in the past about time stamping segments. Hack Ride thinks it would help the show, and Craig doesn't care about what helps the show. So I'm going to make it easier. It's going to be very subtle today. Whenever we change a topic, and you have to put the timestamp on YouTube, I'm just going to loudly shout, "Right here, Craig! Next segment!"
I already timestamped it as you said that, so I'm
right here is where we're moving on. So Kevin Brennan has been on. Kevin Brennan's losing his mind, I think. He's losing his audience, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But I also think he's starting to snap a little bit. And I know that Cardiff's no fan of Kevin Brennan's, so I thought he might enjoy analyzing some of this with us. You were on the day one FKB train, Cardiff, is that right?
I believe I started the FK. I put the key in the ignition and fired up the FKB train.
What was the what was the genesis of that? Just that he kicked you off the show?
No, that was an acceptable response to my appearance, I guess.
Yeah.
When you praise the great E-Rock on MLC, you have to know what's coming.
That's true.
I made that fatal error.
Shame on you.
But yes, no, I annoyed, irritated by Kevin Brennan for a while. I didn't understand the audience he had. I didn't understand how people could watch just an angry old man banging a desk for 2 hours a day. But the Carl stuff, when he crossed that line,
Yeah.
when he tried to take down something that I hold in mild esteem, I said, that's going too far. A bridge too far.
Absolutely. So here's my thing with Kevin Brennan now too, and here's where I made the mistake. Is I would always say when we talk about Kevin Brennan, I go, at least he's funny. That's the one like caveat I would give everything. Is like, hey, he is a funny guy. And then the more I've watched him, I'm like, is he really? Because he's just shouting the same shit over and over again. Like, if you don't watch him much and then you see a clip, you're like, oh, that's pretty funny. But then if you analyze it any further, if you give it any more, research or time spent watching him, you're like, oh, he's just shouting the same shit all the time. So, like, by me talking about him today, if it ever gets on his radar, which it very well may not, but if it does, what he'll do, and I've asked myself, am I ready for this heat, this backlash? Because I'm a sensitive guy at heart. Am I going to be able to handle this? When he calls me a hack very loudly over and over again, he's going to do that. Hack, hack, hack. By the way, it's not hack at all to yell a catchphrase over and over again.
Hamburger.
He's going to make a ham-handed blind joke. For example, this guy can't read the room. He's going to repeat that over and over again.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's going to say that I talk too much, which is a weird criticism of a podcaster, but he's going to throw that out there. Mm-hmm. And then say that I'm a nobody. Like, who am I to criticize him because he's a nobody? And let's say he spends 5 minutes on me, and that first rant is 30 seconds. He's going to do it 10 times. Yeah. He's going to just wash, rinse, repeat. And that's my issue with Kevin Brennan, is it's such a formula, but it's a shit formula. Like, it can't keep anyone's attention. It's not interesting if you pay attention to it long enough.
Well, let me give you a fun fact, a tidbit. Maybe I'm spoiling something, but I don't think I'm spoiling it anymore because I don't think we're going to do this.
Okay.
But myself and 2 other dabblers who, for their protection, will remain nameless, unless you guess.
Okay.
You dabbler and OJ. We had plans to do an episode of Misery Loves Company, obviously spelt Cumpan.
That's fun.
Yes, I have graphics made up. I have a screen. We have music. We're ready to go. But we were going to do an entire episode of Misery Loves Company. The game was we were each going to get 10 drops from each cast member. So again, this was at the time of Brennan, Zumach, and Levy. So we were each going to collect 10 drops, and that's all we could use to do a 1-hour show.
Okay.
And God damn it, it was working. We were able to almost it was almost too real. I think that's why we didn't want to risk the copyright strike to actually put this episode up. But that's how basic of a show it got to. And again, at least it's a little different now because he has some other losers in there, like Fat Carlos Danger.
Well, so Carlos Danger was on here last week, and I like him. So if he wants to refute anything I say here today, he's more than welcome to. I do like him. I don't know how he feels. I know he likes Kevin, right?
He does.
But like,
he's a Kevin Cook.
That's fine. I have no issue with
very
that.
Fat.
I have no issue with that. I would just have a hard time believing he could dispute anything I just said about Kevin. You know what I mean? Like, you can like him if you want, but everything I just said is absolutely true.
Yes, I would agree.
All right, so he's had a bug up his ass about this Shuley thing. We talked about it last week. Shuley's network got taken down, and Stuttering John and Kevin Brennan were celebrating this. Yeah. And I guess Carl did, a portion of his podcast where he was kind of condemning people, basically saying, hey, by other YouTube channels celebrating a YouTube channel getting taken down for language or content, that's, dare I say, hypocritical. It's a bad look because now your channel can get taken down for the exact same thing. How do you not understand that?
You're also encouraging, again, it's same with the chat and the doxing, getting all upset. He was the one encouraging all this behavior in the beginning, and now it's come back to bite his ape-like friend in the ass.
Yes. So they were taking a victory
lap. His name's
lap.
Gladwell Ape. That's why I'm not saying anything else. I'm not doxing.
I didn't think too much about it, to be honest with you, until now.
real quick,
Yeah.
got some super chats. Want to get through them?
Oh, good. Let's spend 40 minutes like
Yep.
Misery Loves Company.
I was gonna
Don't
do
worry,
the.
there won't be that many.
I was gonna do.
That's true. That's a good point.
I was gonna do the Brennan bit again, but I didn't know if it would play, so I didn't. Dominic, $2. Morning, he says. Thank you, sir. Drew P Balls, $10. Happy Sunday, gents.
Take that one down. That's a
Down. It's down. It's down.
I think that's a name. I don't know if I can say that one. Drew P. I don't know if that's your real name, Drew P. Balls.
Dominic, $5. I thought you said you never would. I think he was referring to having Cardiff on.
Having Cardiff on. That's the thing. He's magnetic. He reels you in, even if you don't want to. Eventually, all of a sudden, you know.
Corn Diff, $2. FKB.
Bye, Brennan. Legally, I have to play that when someone super chats FKB.
That's fair.
It's fine. Suburban Tug Time, $5. Hi guys, love you, moi.
Right back at you, Suburban Tug Time.
Adorable.
All right, so let's get into it. Here's Kevin Brennan last week on Misery Loves Company. I can't believe, Cardiff, do you think Kevin is this stupid, or is it a bit that he's doing? Like, is he really this dumb to not understand why it's hypocritical to do this?
See, I mean, I go back to Kevin Brennan just bashing his brother for
being successful.
Yeah. There was never an argument. There was never a coherent. Again, did you ever do debate in high school, Blind Mike?
Sure.
Or did you need eyes for that? I don't know.
I don't think legally they could put that in the rules.
Okay, good. But it was just, I never did debate, so I don't know why I'm bringing that up. But at least in debate class, there was always a coherent argument, and that's
Right.
what you were encouraged to do, is have a reason, whatever your argument is, whatever you're arguing for or against, have a coherent argument for or against that.
No, Kevin's
Kevin
fueled
doesn't
by
seem to have that for anything. Nothing makes sense.
He's fueled by jealousy and bitterness is what he's completely fueled by. That's every rant he's ever been on, is essentially him screaming, I'm jealous of this person. I wish I was more like this person and had the success that they're having. That's every rant he goes on.
But he just reaches down and pulls a couple keywords out of his gut,
Yeah.
and just screams that.
Yeah.
Ad
Dare I
nauseam.
say hack. That is hack behavior. I would be inclined to say. So let's get into it, Craig. What do we got here?
The new Stuttering John.
Yeah, I mean, he brings it up, but like, based on what I saw in this podcast, I think there may be elements that he could be the new Stuttering John. I think he's onto something.
I don't even know where to start. I'm not supposed to be celebrating it. Weren't they celebrating? Wasn't I supposed to take the big L when after the John sniping them debacle? Wasn't I supposed to take a gigantic L for that? And weren't they gloating? They had a thumbnail show. I didn't watch the show, but one of their shows had a thumbnail.
Hold on, I didn't watch the show, but I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to make some harsh comments about it.
Based on a thumbnail, yeah.
They had a very incriminating thumbnail that I'm about to rant about.
Now that sounds like he's ripping off Shuli's bit. He's going off for an hour on a thumbnail. Except this would be
I haven't done an ounce of prep for this, but I'm really going to go off here. So Kevin is going to do this thing where he tries to compare it to other situations. I guess Shuli and Mike Morse and Bob Levy were gloating that they were getting super chats. Is that what he's referring to? That they were getting a bunch of super chats when Stuttering John was snipe streaming them? And Kevin's like,
Yeah.
well, they gloated about that. Why can't I gloat about this? It's like, so they gloated about their show being successful? You don't see how that's different than calling Daddy YouTube and saying, I would like this channel taken down, please? You don't see why those would be two different things?
Like Kevin is a noted cyclist. He has pink cycle shoes, I believe, and a pink helmet. I've heard from Stuttering John. This would be like him doing a show talking about how great it is that there's some guy with a sledgehammer smashing cyclists in the face as they're riding around in New Jersey.
Why? I don't ride around in that neighborhood. What's the matter to me?
This is great. No, it's not, because eventually that sledgehammer is going to probably hit you in the face.
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to change your tune when you hear his pizza parlor analogy that he has later, but we'll get there.
One of their shows had a thumbnail. Is Kevin the new Stuttering John? So they weren't gloating. They're throwing me now. Now I'm gonna get. Now I'm as big a clown as in their eyes as Stuttering John. But that's not gloating. They weren't celebrating me taking an L.
Is Kevin retarded? Like, genuinely, is he mentally unwell? Is he mentally challenged? Because how is he not grasping this simple concept? No, gloating is not the... People are allowed to gloat. Yes, you're correct. Human beings are allowed to gloat, and they should be, in fact. I would fight for that freedom. The issue is that you're a comedian, supposedly, or a retired comedian, I guess, and a podcaster, that is championing censorship. You're promoting censorship and asking for more of it, in fact. You're saying, I wish more people would be censored on YouTube. You don't see how that's the issue?
And let's be honest, I don't even think he's not to pump up Stuttering John's tires at all. I don't even think Kevin Brennan has ever reached the heights that Stuttering John has.
Absolutely not. No way.
Definitely not.
Kevin, honestly, Stuttering John is, if you, on paper, much more successful than Kevin Brennan. It's not even close.
If you go back like a decade or so, most of the stuff Stuttering John says could be true, but he's living back there still.
He's pretending that's still the case. Yeah, and he's built that up. That's the thing about Stuttering John, is if we'll get to him later. But, like, there's something to be said for being humble, I think, is my main point here.
They weren't celebrating. So I'm supposed to be somber? When they were literally, weren't they?
I think he's mentally challenged. I think there's a little something wrong. I feel kind of bad doing this now. Like, I think there's a little something wrong with him.
Could be.
I'm also a little annoyed. I mean, I am nowhere near the success of MLC Podcast. I understand. I accept my position every time he tweets out a screenshot of my Patreon.
Yeah.
Making fun of me. I accept my position in this world as a C or D level podcast. But as soon as I made a little bit of money with this, I bought a fucking microphone.
It's a smart thing to do.
Yes. Like, I think the first $200 I made on Patreon went to a microphone.
It's a good investment, I think.
Like,
yes.
fuck, he's still using his kid's gamer headset.
In 2002.
Sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, like, yeah, so Kevin did a show where he had a bunch of tech problems, and he's like, what? People laughed at that. People celebrated that. It's like, yeah, Kevin, but YouTube didn't take that down. Don't you understand? Like, how are you not he pretends not to get things, like with Carl, when Carl was mad at him for trying to sabotage the Stuttering John interview, basically. And Kevin's like, what? People don't do interviews all the time. What does he need John for? I don't get it. Like, he pretends he doesn't know these. He's like a little kid that got caught doing something. He's a child.
Do you think he pretends, or do you think he really can quickly justify it in his head and he believes it?
Maybe he convinces himself into believing it, but yeah, at the start, I do think he's pretending. I think he knows. I think he knows all of this. He's an adult man.
I was going to say, I don't know. Next, we have him telling us that he's not jealous.
No, not at all. And you can tell. You know what's great about this is he doesn't even have to use words. We can just tell he's not jealous.
But they're celebrating, all the super chats that were coming in, and I got to take the L, and I'm a clown. But now I'm not supposed to celebrate their L, right? So Pottstown never happened, so I couldn't celebrate that L because that was not their problem. That was all
who's saying that? Who said you couldn't celebrate that, Kevin?
No, I think he's looping them all in like it's just a regular. Putting on a disaster of a show is exactly the same as having your channel taken down for animal cruelty.
Yeah, no, you can absolutely celebrate that and point and laugh at them all you want. No, I don't think anyone said you couldn't, Kevin. What straw man are you creating now?
Couldn't celebrate that out because that was not their problem. That was all the tech guys' problem. They didn't fuck up anything. I mean, it's so fucking ridiculous. So I'm not supposed to celebrate it. I mean, like I said, Carl thinks he's the fucking mayor of this fucking hackverse.
He is, actually. We had an election, Kevin. That's why you get out and vote, kids. You can't not vote and then complain when these people are put in office. Carl is the mayor of Hackville, or whatever he called him.
Yes,
But he won an election fair and square. And I'm sick and tired of these people claiming that Carl stole the election. It's ridiculous.
And he's like, we don't. If one goes down, we all go wrong. That's not how business works. So if you have a pizza place and somebody else has a pizza place, it's like, if that pizza place closes, it's going to kill us. No, that's not how business works. That's not how business works. You fucking clowns. And I'm jealous.
Totally.
I'm jealous. I'm going to bring up that I'm jealous, even though no one's saying I'm jealous yet. Oh, really? I'm just going to say that I'm jealous.
What was his pizza parlor argument? I didn't catch it.
So he said that if one pizza parlor closes, that means the other pizza parlor is going to shut down. And I thought Carl actually had a pretty good retort to this. And he said, no, it's like if in Nazi Germany, one pizza parlor was hiding Jews in the basement, and the other pizza parlor was like, hey, Nazis, there's some Jews in here. That's more what it's like, is that censorship is happening and you're welcoming it for everyone. You don't see that would affect your business. It's like if someone was going around and poisoning all the pizza and you were like, he should do that. That's great because he's putting some of the pizza places out of business. And then he's like, oh, fuck, he brought poison into my pizza place. What are the odds? Who would have thought that could happen?
He's brought this all on himself too, with like the asking. He's like, oh yeah, when you're done with your show, send me the receipts you get for like your super chats and shit. And it's like, why? Just do your own thing, dude. You don't have to like fucking dick measure every single aspect of every show.
Yeah, well, that's the problem people have with that Aaron Imholt and Kevin. Those are the two best examples of it, where like they tell you how much money they make. Like someone in the radio business texted me who's interested in this stuff and said, hey, I'm not too familiar with this like Steel Toe show. I tuned in for a minute. It seemed like they were were they doing like a telethon? Like they were counting the amount of money they made today and like trying to get to a certain goal. And I was like, oh no, I think they do that every day. And it's this thing where podcasting has become just filling up your bank account. Like, hey, that's great if you can make a living out of it, but do the podcasting and make the living from that. Don't come on and say, guys, I need to make a living here. If you wouldn't mind helping me do that. No, do a good podcast and the money will follow.
Yeah, they were. I mean, Kevin was immediately blinded by the super chat onslaught when he moved to like, it really got distracting for him. But and when he did an actual show, what was that guy he had with him? Lenny? Is it Lenny Marcus?
Oh, Lenny Marcus. Yeah,
when he actually did a show with Lenny Marcus, and it wasn't a terrible show.
Right.
It's not what it is today, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, the problem is Cardiff. He's been doing that. So that show he originally did with Lenny Marcus is probably 8 years ago at this point, 7, 8 years ago. There are only so many people you can hate that you can rant about for an hour.
Yes.
I want to have it be fake.
I want to see the camera roll on his phone, because his show just became super chats come in, holds his phone up, and just takes pictures of them on each and every single one.
Well, this is the first day, like, Kevin got all pissy because I said that his show is just reading super chat. Actually, it was when Carl left the first Stuttering John debate, like the second half of that show. Yeah. I said they should have just invited Shuli on, because it just became Kevin reading super chats. Like, it was very boring, and it could have been a better show. Now, if Kevin wants to do that, that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, guess what? You're allowed to. Your channel's not going to get taken down. So I'm not saying it should. You're absolutely allowed to do that. But just as someone who's watching it, it's very boring. That's the trade-off you get when you do that, is that people are going to lose interest in hearing, hey, Drew Peeballs gave us $2. Let's stop and talk about it for a few minutes.
Is this the moment you wanted me to announce that all gearheads are supposed to go to MLC podcast on YouTube and report the channel for various reasons? Is this the moment?
Yeah, make sure that we're going to war. Make sure you strike. No, obviously don't do that because it
Go
would
get him,
be.
gearheads.
You gotta clarify. Don't do it.
Obviously, don't do that because then it could happen to us. You understand why that's
Oh,
bad
wait,
now?
I got it. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nancram, $7 Canadian. I love the smell of poutine in the morning.
Oh man,
Fuck you, Nancram.
don't make jokes like that.
Whimpering John, $2. Every time I go to the movies, I cry aggressively.
We're gonna get to John. Don't worry.
Joe Black, $2. Sunday morning, mow the lawn, phones on, joy, potato forever.
Love you, Joe.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say this is America's #1 NFL pregame show. by the
That's
way.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Next we have him talking about silencing.
Yeah, this is great insight, Carlin-esque insight here about the way the world is going.
Al said, I'm trying to silence them. Silence!
Me?
Like the Wizard of Oz. Silence! I'm trying to silence them? They already have Rumble and making their own making a new super chat machine. How am I trying to silence them?
Can you pause it?
Silence them.
I sure can.
Does
Anytime
he
you'd like.
Does he think Melton like wired up some type of contraption for them to get super chats?
Ramp the DeLorean to 88, and we can start accepting super chats.
The disgusting Cardiff's voice. Can you please pause? It was very enjoyable.
This is what I'm saying. He sounds, maybe he's just an older gentleman now, but he sounds a little retarded when he's like, they got their super chat machine. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
I would love to set up a machine in front of Brennan. Like, if there's somebody that has the ability to do this, that actually spits out, when somebody super chats, it actually spits out a $5 bill. So just watching him collect the cash.
That'd be so funny.
But it's like one of those telephone booths that blow the money everywhere.
I was just going to say Brennan's in a booth.
At the end of the show, all the money goes in there, and whatever he can catch in 30 seconds.
He's oiling up before.
If it sticks to your clothes, it counts.
That sounds like a great bit for John, though.
Oh, that would be so fucking funny.
But this is the thing with these guys like John and Kevin Brennan is they don't have any fun with this. Like that idea that Kevin Brennan would be in a booth like that catching his super chat money. Like why not just have fun with that instead of getting angry? Like if he heard this, he'd be like, "Oh, real funny. You're a fucking hack." It's like just lighten up. Let your hair down, Kevin. Jesus Christ. You can't be this angry all the time. He went after Bill Burr years ago for being fake angry. It's like, why, your life's good now? Why? How can you be that angry? It's like, Kevin, how can you be this angry all the time? You should kill yourself. If you're that angry all the time, you should end your life because it's not worth living. Go to therapy or something.
I sent the mayor the clip of Bill Burr breaking down Kevin Brennan.
Oh, good. I'm glad that made the mayor's desk.
Yes, but he didn't play the whole thing. He only played, maybe I'll send you the clip. And it's from the Porcelain Kevin Brennan documentary. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
Yeah, I
Sure
have.
have.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Burr breaking him down was fucking fantastic. But Hamburger stopped it a little short of the good part. But you definitely want to check that out. Burr just captures him perfectly.
Yeah.
Just perfectly.
Dang Lizard, €5 it has to do with that. Greetings to Carl, the mayor of the Hackverse.
Yes.
Mike Loyal, subject of One-Eyed King. Cardiff Electric's the greatest podcast in the world today, and Craig.
Yeah, where do me and Cardiff rank in his cabinet? If Carl's the mayor,
I
I
feel like Cardiff would be some sort of international guy. He's always all over the place.
Ah, yes, the famous international guy at the mayor's office.
But on the rise, definitely on the rise. Can I say, Mike? Can I say, Blind Michael, that
Sure.
it was you that made me realize I had truly arrived in this universe?
How so?
Oh, no.
The Creep Off roast. Do you remember the Creep Off roast that you were invited to, and you decided to send a video clip?
I was
instead?
not invited to. They asked me a day before if I could make a video.
Well, whatever. Let's not get caught up in semantics.
Let him tell this beautiful story, will you?
Okay.
But the fact that you mentioned me in your 3-minute video made me feel like I'd truly been accepted by this community.
Wow. It's like you got the Carson wave over to the couch.
Yes,
Hey, kid.
from you. Now,
Hey, kid.
that
Let's hear
was-
your story.
that was 358 days ago, and we still have not seen a tape of that event. Get the fucking tape out, Carl.
Well, it's at this point he can't release the tape of that. Now it's like it's become the bit.
He must.
All right, well, back to Kevin.
Sorry,
Brennan.
please go back.
Silence them. It's a win. They're not around. You think they wouldn't be gloating if my channel got taken down?
Depends for what, Kevin.
You think they'd be like, oh, they're not? They celebrate any fucking ally type. Remember, hey Bob, remember the time and Carl, you too. Remember my Wi-Fi wasn't good that Monday morning? You did a whole 20 minutes about it. And the BS show was watching me, right? But you're supposed to be.
Yes, Kevin. Yes, an old man struggling with his internet is mockable. It's joke-worthy. You can make fun of that, of course. Now, if YouTube came and said, hey, we're not allowing out-of-touch old men to struggle with their internet connection. We're going to take that down. Then I think Carl would say, hey, YouTube, that's wrong. We don't like that. It's not good.
Cut it out.
Fucking idiot. This is exactly like when my fucking internet went out. How? How is it all like that?
Right? But you're supposed to be, come on, guys. You weren't celebrating that? Anything. So imagine if my channel was fucking.
Right. So in Kevin's mind, Carl should have been on the phone with like Comcast that day. Like, hey, get Kevin's internet back. This is wrong what you're doing to him. Fix his internet.
He did help Chad.
Is that right?
Carl helped Chad when he got strikes on his channel.
Carl's a helpful guy. I mean, when you're the mayor, you have that kind of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. We're actually, that was the end of that clip. So it's moving on to Not Jealous Part 2.
I mean, this guy, it's dripping out of him how not jealous he is. He wears on his sleeve how not jealous he is about any of this.
No. I mean, it's just, it's like, and Carl thinks like, I make the rules.
Mayor.
You want to silence them like it's Nazi Germany. You want to silence them because you don't have a good argument.
Wait. I don't know if Kevin knows which side the Nazis were on. Hitler was saying, hey, we're going to lift everyone up around us. Why is America trying to silence us?
Argument. A good argument for what? They're fucking idiots. They got their channel. Is my channel taken down?
Hey, retard. If idiots are off YouTube, we're all done. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? If YouTube doesn't allow idiots, none of us will be here. That's the part you're not getting.
Mike's taking shots at everyone now.
Including me.
Not me, though, right?
No, not Cardiff. Cardiff will remain.
Am I low? Everyone in the chat saying I'm low.
A little bit, yeah.
I have him pinned on my end, so I can't adjust it anymore.
I'm as high as I can get.
Throwing Cardiff right under the bus. That's how we do it here. Really, Craig pins the blame squarely on Cardiff.
Yeah, I was telling him so. If he can up his gain or something, go for it. I mean, it'll sound fine in post, but maybe not now. Who knows?
All right. We won't hear from Cardiff, but we'll hear from Kevin.
Taken down? And if it was, you think they'd be sitting around? Think everybody's sitting around going like, "Well, we wish Kevin well. We're not gonna."
Hey, if they don't do that, if Shuli celebrates you getting taken down, then he'd be getting criticized. I don't know if you know this, Kevin. Shuli's taking a little guff on the internet. Not everyone's a big fan of his. So yes, I think Shuli would be getting criticized if the same thing happened in reverse. Yes, I do believe that.
They gloat every chance they get. My Wi-Fi didn't work on a fucking Monday morning, and they couldn't believe their fucking good fortune. So I'm jealous. I'm jealous of what? They pay the producers next to nothing, and now what are they going to pay them with? So I'm jealous of that. Oh well, because they're doing well. I'm doing right.
No. Kevin doesn't understand anything. No, you're not jealous that they got taken down. The jealousy is fueled you being happy that they're taken down. Kevin, yes. I truly wonder if there's some sort of learning disability where he's not able to comprehend this. He's having a very tough time, and it's weird to watch him struggle like this.
I know
he really seems to have taken the turn when he got into the John business, and he scooped the big First John interview. He wasted $3,000.
I mean, has there ever been a greater waste of money?
Yeah,
right.
He's still hurting from that. I think he's still recovering from that loss.
Yeah.
So
No, I like how you and Carl and Melton are always like, they're killing at the Shuli Network. Yeah, they have they have to pay 5, 6, 7 people.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin. I don't know why them having to pay their employees, I guess, has any impact on you. That's not what anyone's talking about. Like, Kevin has talk about your finger on the pulse. Kevin has no comprehension of what anyone is saying at any time. He's just a doddering old fool.
Next here we have your favorite thing, more analogies from him.
He's good. He's got great analogies. We heard the pizza parlor analogy. So here's where he tries to, and this is what Kevin does, where he repeats himself over and over again. He's like, if there was a pizza place and one pizza place went out of business, or here's another way, if there's a bar and another bar went out of business. No, we got it, Kevin.
I like the cycling analogy was perfect.
The cycling analogy was much better than anything Kevin came up with. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear this analogy and then hear Mike compare how Carl would alter the analogy to include the Nazis. So please go ahead.
Everything comes back to the Germans and the Nazis with that guy. Is what I've noticed.
I'm looking forward to this.
And I know I'm a coward, but I show my face.
Oh,
I'm a public figure. Everybody else is like, it's gonna hurt us. It's gonna hurt my orange. I'm an orange. And I have a family of oranges, and it's gonna, and if it hurts, if one channel gets taken out, it's gonna hurt me in the orange community.
Cardiff, does that hurt you that he's obviously taking a shot at you, who is a potato, and he has demeaned you into being an orange? Is that hurtful to you?
No, what hurts me is the fact that he's pretending I don't exist and using the faceless filter guys and using OJ as the example as the orange now. That he's just exiled me from this altogether.
This is my favorite thing when I've heard anyone critical of you or any of the vegetables or Tukey, like, for not showing your identity. They take on this act that Kevin's doing right now, where it seems like he thinks that you believe you are a potato. At the end, you have a family of potatoes, and you live your life as a potato. It seems like he believes you're really committed to this character.
Well, he's right. Yes, that's correct.
Spot the lie.
And the potato community will also suffer. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how these people, like, they live in some fantasy world. It's bad. If it's bad for one, it's bad for all. No.
It's mainly because, again, to bring up jealousy. I don't know if you guys agree that Kevin sounds a little jealous. The mayor thing, when he calls Carl the mayor, that's such projection, because clearly, in Kevin's mind, he wants to be the mayor of the Hackverse or whatever he calls it. Like, he really he pictures himself as Mr. Mayor. We all lift Kevin up on our shoulders and say, "Lead us, Kevin, into the black. Get us to the promised land." Like, he kind of sees himself that way, and he's jealous that, I guess, Carl has that title. I never thought of him as the mayor, but apparently he is.
And for the record, Carl only ran for mayor of the Dabbleverse. That's the only position he wanted. The Hackverse was just bestowed upon him.
Right. He won the write-in vote against all odds there.
This is the last Brennan clip. It's just labeled "more bitching."
It was, and honestly, I could have kept going, but it was just more analogies. It was the orange farm and the pizza parlor and bars, and it was all the same analogy over and over.
Can I keep beating the mayor thing to death for one more second?
Please do.
It's like the Dabbleverse and the Hackverse were neighboring towns, and the Dabbleverse was being run so successfully by Mayor Carl that the citizens of the Hackverse said,
we
"Get
merge?
that guy. We need him."
I'll say though, Cardiff, you're crackling a little bit. I will say you're pulling a. Speaking of Carl, you're pulling a Carl from the other night on Who Had These Socials.
Well, now I cranked it. Okay, well, let me turn it down.
All right.
Let's get it. That sounds good.
Okay.
We'll have to get you fired up again about the mayor, and we'll truly test it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, the mayor?
Because I'm supposed to be a good sport, right, Carl? Carl literally trolls people. Opie and Stuttering
This is
John.
where Kevin Zaffoni is when he's friends with Carl. Carl does a great show. Carl's a great broadcaster. It's a really interesting premise. He's the first one to do it. We're all ripping Carl off. And then when he doesn't like Carl, it's, all Carl does is troll people. And by the way, in Kevin's mind, all of a sudden trolling people is bad now. It's not what he does every single day on every single show that he's ever done.
Opie and Stuttering John. That's his whole thing. But then he's supposed to be like, come on, take the high road. All you do is troll people. That's the high road? Wow. And again, Carl, where is the episode about Shuli losing his channel? More shit about John, more shit about me, more shit about other comics people don't even care about. Where is the
You guys are funnier to make fun of. Can I just say this? Like, Shuli, people are like, oh, talk about Shuli more. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff to talk about Shuli with. He's not as fun to make fun of. You guys are more fun to make fun of because you're more delusional, you're sillier characters, you're dumber, you're more out of touch. Like, Shuli, I'm sure there's plenty of shit to mock there. But it's more fun to make fun of Kevin and John because of the absurdity of their characters and their complete delusion and not seeing what everyone's pointing out to them.
But it does. Kevin is exactly the same like John, where he feels that Carl has this moral or legal obligation to cover Shuli as well. Well, equal time. You got to give all the candidates equal time.
That's exactly. He's talking about it like it's, this fake news media who's not giving the right a fair shot. Carl is trying to censor them by being anti-John and Kevin, but not being anti-Shuli enough. It's very weird that
Carl is like CNN.
Carl's exactly like CNN.
Like
Although he's got his opinions on Jews are the same as Fox News.
Just gonna say, it's like if Carl had a sub shop ran by Jews.
People don't even care about. Where is the clip about Shuli's channel?
Where is it?
That's what it all comes down to. Is like, why don't you make fun of the guys I want you to make fun of? Just do it yourself, Kevin.
He's not even saying he's not doing it. He's just saying he can't find it on his YouTube channel. Where is it?
Where is it? I can't operate this.
This guy does 3-hour shows. I don't know where to find the Shuli clip.
But, do it yourself, Kevin. Like, if there's something that I feel like a show that no other show is talking about that I would like to be talked about, you know what I would do? I wouldn't go, hey, Carl, why aren't you talking about this? I would bring it up on my show. And then hopefully people say, oh, he's exploring something that the other shows aren't. Maybe I'll watch this, and maybe I'll find it interesting, rather than begging Daddy Carl to do the dirty work for you. And you know why he's begging Carl to do it? Because more people will listen. He wants a show where people are actually listening and engaged to make fun of Shuli, and he knows that his show is not that. So he wants Carl to use his audience to berate Shuli the way Kevin wishes he could.
Does he still put out an audio podcast, Brennan?
I don't think so.
He doesn't put because
you know what? I think he does actually. I think someone told me recently he does.
I can check right now.
Get on that.
That's very important. Please.
I'll get on that. I'll throw up some super chats as I'm looking.
Thanks, Jamie.
Blinky Jedi, $2 says the army major steals valor and must pay for a war crime. That's uncalled for.
That's a friend of ours you're talking about, sir.
Yeah. Dang Lizard, €2. Cardiff, stop using the B word. It's insightful, Mike.
The B word.
Blind
Which one was he
cocksucker?
using?
I don't know which one. That's 2 words. It's the BC word.
Jason Fusco, $2. More OJ.
No.
CJ Spags, $100.
Whoa!
Boom,
You, sir. You're too
Welcome.
kind.
Welcome to the super chat machine, boys.
Let me catch those.
Now, Blind Mike, just for the record, Craig is like a paid employee. We're not splitting the super chats 3 ways today, right? He gets a salary.
Send me your
that's it.
demands.
The last episode that Brennan posted was August 28th. The one before that was February 16th. It looks like he's doing one a month.
Okay.
February to August is
Wait,
one
how
month?
is that once a month? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I went past
One a
that. And
year?
then it was January, then it was December, then November, then October. So yeah,
Okay.
just one so far, or two this
But you
year.
understand there are several months between February and August, right?
I realized the mistake at the beginning. Yes.
Okay.
One a month in the winter time. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
winter podcaster.
Yeah. There are 2 here from 2023, so that averages out to about 1 a month.
John Kaludi, $2. Potato, show a clip of you rapping "Bust a Move," please.
I'll say I sent that was in the email for WATS this week, and Carl ignored it. He didn't find you interesting enough to play.
He played it on. Actually, you might be upset. He played on Who Are These Broadcasters?
That son of a bitch.
he took it to his new baby his new show. Like, I mean, as pissed off as Vinny is at you for stealing Carl's attention, you should be at Christian Blatt and Eric Zane for just pushing.
Hey, how does it even
peg.
qualify? You're not a broadcaster.
If it makes you feel any better, Christian's in the chat right now, and everyone's telling him to swallow lead. So that makes you feel any better.
It does actually. Yeah.
Jason Fusco, $2. OJ, the hardest working fruit in podcasting.
I don't know about that.
Blackcast, $2. KB is 100% this slow. He doesn't get it. FKB.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's an act, but
Dang Lizard, €5. Nazi Germany banned Jewish-owned business. KB is just saying it was a great move for other businesses. Mimi, $5. No comment.
okay.
Dang Lizard, €5. KB should be worried as it goes full circle. If the potato community suffers, then the Irish KBs suffer.
Exactly. That's exactly right. He should know from the Great Famine.
The Great Famine, and that is all for now.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for the super chats. By the way, I should remind everyone to go to blindmike.net. That's where you can support this program. If you want to become a YouTube member, you can do that. If you want to become a Patreon member, you can do that as well. Or if you just want to support the show for free, Why Are You Laughing and Who Are These Socials? Links are there as well, blindmike.net. And where can people find you, Cardiff?
I was going to say, you must have mispronounced patreon.com/Cardiff Electric and at Cardiff Electric on YouTube. Yes, that's where you should be sending all of your gearheads.
And subreddit surfing is
Do
back.
it!
To support the
Subreddit
YouTube,
surfing.
not ban them.
Season 2 of Subreddit Surfing returns this Monday, September 11th.
Excellent.
We will change the narrative on what September 11th means to
good.
Americans.
Yes. September 11th, forget is their slogan. It's time to move on.
Yes, come on. It's been how many years? That's
It's enough already.
I went to see, I saw David Tell this weekend at the Wilbur.
I heard.
And he comes out. Oh, yes, I saw your buddy Tim there.
Yeah.
And he
this
comes
is
out.
interesting. Who else did you see there? Was Jimmy John there? And how did you really see anybody? Let's be honest.
Well, I spoke to him. I
Okay.
think it was him. But
Probably
Attell
AI.
comes out.
AI Timmy.
Attell comes out and he goes, it really is an honor to be here at the Wilbur Theater. You know, I actually got my start here about 22 years ago. I was working security at Logan Airport. And I said to myself, I'm going to win this city's trust back one day.
That's very funny.
Too soon.
It's too soon.
All right. Timestamp.
Yep, I already got it.
Moving on to Stuttering John. Stuttering John's had a rough go. So, Cardiff, you might have some insight here, as I could kind of actually consider you the mayor of the Dabbleverse, as opposed to this Carl character.
Buttering up that potato.
I did win the Lifetime Achievement Award at DabbleCon, but
That's what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. But so you may be able to shine some light on this, because DG was up to no good. I'm curious your take on this. We'll get into it. But first, we start with something from Stuttering John's show the other day that he does a lot. It's stunning to me. There's 162 baseball games a year. And it's stunning to me.
163 in a leap year.
Yes, sure. It's stunning to me how much this grown man's life revolves around every single one of them.
Oh, I know. This is Yankees.
Yeah, so this is... it's weird. Like, every time he's talking to Carl, he's like, I got to be done by 7. The Yankees are on tonight. It's like, your life revolves around that much? that you can't do anything at night because the fucking Yankees are on. And he also, I guess he was planning with Vinny to play Comedy at the Carlson, and Vinny was trying to book him on a Sunday in December, and Stuttering John was like, I just don't know if I can do that because I'm a big Giants fan, and it's like if the Giants are on that day, I'm not even going to want to be there.
Well, what if they're playing Monday Night Football that week?
That's how you operate your career, John? What are you talking about?
Makes sense, actually.
Doesn't he have a VCR?
Yeah, right? Probably. All right, let's hear him talk about the Yankees.
Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, yeah, I forgot the Yankees were even on. This is not going to be a very long show, though. But, Ma, tell me the score, okay? Thanks. I didn't even...
Hold on. Wait, pause it. Now, I've been out of the John business for a while. I'm a friend of John now.
I understand.
I'm one of his greatest co-hosts. Maybe be back next week.
Yes.
But do you think that super chat from his mom was almost like, do you think the Yankee games is something they've been working on in therapy for years? Like that's what keeps him from getting into trouble?
John, the Yankees are on. You have an appointment at 7.
You have to watch every Yankees game, because if he watches every Yankees game, that's 162 games, 2.5 hours each, where he's not getting in trouble.
But the problem is he gets shit-faced during every game.
But she knows he's safe at home. He's not out drunk driving.
That's weird how the way he talks to his mom, I think, is so telling of the greater personality, where he talks to his mom the way kind of a mama's boy child does, where he's like, yeah, Ma, let me know the Yankees score, okay? That's your job today, Mom, who's in her 80s and watching me on YouTube for some reason.
I would hate
a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah. My mom was watching, I'd be very upset.
I didn't even check it.
The Uz, I don't know if you've noticed this, Cardiff. The Uz are coming back. I know you're a big fan of those, and they were gone for a little while, but they're making a comeback.
They are. The co-host, having a co-host on screen with him really knocks down some of the Uz.
Yeah.
But him on screen solo, they definitely come back.
Well, we're gonna find out. Cardiff may have to step in as co-host because his buddy has betrayed him, but
yes.
I'm not sure if we're getting into that yet.
So let me address everything that happened yesterday. I admit the show was a debacle from the get-go.
And here's why it wasn't my fault.
And I'll tell you why. And it's really sad to me. I was trying to do a show to tribute an old friend of mine, one of the greatest comic minds of all time, Sam Kinison.
Best of friends.
Ma, can you make me a grilled cheese?
Sam was
Can I say something about this tribute? It's as much of a tribute as any episode of Why Are You Laughing? Or this show. It's a tribute. So basically what John was doing is playing clips of Sam Kinison on Stern. And in this episode of his show, he has twisted it into, I was memorializing my friend that passed away. John, you were like, watch Kinison and Howard. They're pretty funny together.
Well,
it's not a tribute.
You did see with Sam's brother, right?
Yeah, so I heard that was disastrous and his audio didn't work, essentially, right?
Yes.
And so that's what he's getting into here, is his tribute with Bill Kinison.
greatest comic minds of all time, Sam Kinison. And Sam was a celebrity that took me under his wing, treated me like an equal, as Bill said.
Doesn't seem he listened very much.
No. You don't hear John when he's like, oh, Trump, get him out of office.
That's what those ahs are. He just feel he can't commit, so it just comes out like that.
If you slow Sam Kinison down, like 0.8, 0.75, that's John.
Really touched me when he said, John, Sam loved you. And even to hear
Did you
Bill
say Sam loved Jews? What?
So there's a story. We
Wrong
did an
segment.
episode about Sam Kinison for Why You Laughing. Go check it out. And we talked about how Sam died in a car accident and had sort of like an out-of-body experience. Carl, God damn it, what was his friend? Carl LeBeau was with him and said, you know, Sam, he took Sam in his arms and Sam was having a conversation. And then at a certain point, Carl realized Sam wasn't talking to him. It seemed like he was talking to God. But what a lot of people don't know is Sam was talking to John in that instance. And then he drifted off into heaven. He's like, John, I am transferring my spirit onto you. I am your mentor. So I assume they just got drunk a couple of times in the early 90s. Is that essentially the grounds of this mentorship?
He had a cocaine plug.
Because I think I want to say Sam was dead and gone before John started doing stand-up.
That's what I want to think.
Way before he started doing
Yeah.
stand-up, yeah.
Way before.
But like Stuttering John had only been on the Stern Show 4 or 5 years before Kinison died. So it's not like he was a staple of the show where
Yeah, it wasn't
Kinison
Stuttering
would
John
go in there and
Friends
like,
yet.
yeah, I need to take this kid out. I'd take him under my wing.
it touched me. It really did. I was holding back tears, to be honest with you.
Chugs.
Is that a Red Bull?
My mom knows how sensitive I am.
That or an ultra.
I am, I'm a sensitive guy.
I'm so sensitive, in fact, that when only 30 years have passed after a drug addict's death, I get teary-eyed.
He mentored him too, and like not in his heyday. It was when everyone was like, "All right, we've had enough of you, Sam."
Oh, Sam, how could you leave? It's only been 3 decades that I've had to get over this. How could you leave us so soon?
Next we have him talking about the tribute show.
Yeah, so this was a real debacle, and he's going to explain why none of it is on him.
10 minutes in that Dave and I are alone.
There's the cadence that Sam gave him. Did you hear that? Hold on.
10 minutes in that Dave and I are alone.
Oh.
He says he's got to go. And he texts me why his brother was stuck. And
So this is Dave that he's talking about, by the way. You also may know him as DG. I have called him Podcast Poison in the sense that he says nothing and honestly takes so long to say it. He is a net negative on a podcast. He's taking away, he's actually making Stuttering John less interesting when he's on there. He was terrible on the podcast, but everyone says that DG was trolling John. Do you believe that to be the case, Cardiff? I don't even mean with this episode that John's talking about. I just mean in general.
No, yes, in general. There's no everything about him with John seemed a little disingenuous.
Right.
But I still don't know to what degree. Like, what was the end game? What was the goal?
Yeah, if
for
he
DG?
was
Because
trolling
if the end game
him,
was that stupid video that he played,
swinging
that
a
was a lot
miss.
of work for nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I was always kind of like, maybe he's trolling him, but to what end? What's being accomplished here? Because he's just agreeing with John and adding nothing to the show. It's not like, you know, when that douchebag, Vince the lawyer, was John's co-host. Like, he was trolling him, but kind of made it interesting because he would ask John questions that made John uncomfortable. DG was just taking up space. I don't get what the point was.
Well, I think DG did. I mean, I took a similar approach to John. I did exactly what DG did for about a year, but I did it on Twitter.
Right.
So I was just trying to build that trust, build that relationship on Twitter,
Sure.
not on his show for some reason.
I think I think you are who John should be doing a show with. Because it's not as confrontational. Like when Carl's on, he's just gonna get loud and confrontational or trying to avoid him and read super chats. With you, he will go back and forth with a little bit, but you'll massage him in directions he needs to go.
Take liberties with Why You Laughing, though. I did notice that.
Yeah, I didn't
that
care
show
for your
stinks.
review of Why You Laughing. That was a little harsh.
Show stinks.
5 seconds later, it's his favorite show.
He admitted he liked the Abbott and Costello episode.
Oh yeah, that one was great. You guys did a fantastic job.
Hey, thanks.
I love black and white comedy.
That's the one I'm most proud of.
Very loyal to his brother, and that's admirable. But he said,
That's admirable, but that Bill Kinnison isn't to this day burying Sam posthumously. What an admirable quality.
No, wasn't he talking about DG at that point?
Go back a little bit. No, he said his brother, I thought.
Yeah, DG's brother.
Oh, you know what? You might be
book.
right. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
and that's admirable.
Oop, I didn't go back far enough.
And he texts me why his brother was stuck. And I get it. Dave is very loyal to his brother,
Yeah.
and that's admirable. But he said, keep me in the room so you could play all the videos that I compiled. Okay, now keep in mind, and this is the most important part of this whole series of events, is this was about Sam Kinison. Wasn't about me. Wasn't about Dave.
Debatable.
Wasn't about any of you. It was about Sam Kinison.
This is what Sam would have wanted.
Super chat from Nick West, $2. Mike's gay, LOL.
Whoa! I don't put up with that kind of talk.
Why are you laughing? Why the LOL? I don't. Not funny.
This one's stuck on the screen. I can't quite get it off.
That I'm gay? It's not true, guys. Stop saying it.
Next clip is the audacity of Dave.
I mean, this is where Dave has really gone too far. But by the way, I should set up a little better. In case people don't know, all of the inner workings of the Dabbleverse is basically DG sent John a bunch of videos, and he was like looking around on this. He wasn't fully paying attention on this episode, and then had to leave to tend to his brother. And then one of the videos he played, I guess Dave edited in something with Shuli and the Uncle Rico guys.
Yes.
And I guess Dave was trying to be funny, or he was trolling John or something. Now, again, when you come to when you talk about sensitivity, and these guys just like fucking let your hair down, lighten up a little bit. If Hackride did that to us, if Hackride sent me a video, in fact he has without even telling me, if he puts things in videos that I'm not aware of, I might say like, hey.
Technically, isn't every video a video you're unaware of?
Yes, that's exactly right. I have no idea what's in these videos. So sometimes I might say,
I just meant every video, like if you were to walk through Netflix right now, wouldn't you be unaware of
We got it. I can't see. We got the joke.
Okay.
I'm mid-rant here.
You have trouble reading a room, I've heard.
That's a good point. I haven't thought of it that way.
I hear about it the next few days.
But I might say to Hackride, like, hey, in the future, don't do that just because it's fucking up the flow of the show or something.
Yeah, I won't interrupt you anymore. I promise.
Thank you.
Thank
you. But my point is, like, if I went on the show and was like, this is a betrayal of epic purport. Hackride, I don't understand how you could do this to me. It's like, why are you so angry about it, John? It's not that big a deal. If you just let your hair down, people wouldn't fuck with you as much. The reason you're getting fucked with is because of reactions like this. When someone does something minor, fucks with a video and gets you to play it, or changes their name in the chat to something wacky, rather than laughing it off, you get indignant and fucking rant about it for 40 minutes. It's crazy that you behave like this and haven't learned that's the cause of your issues.
Yes.
Back to the tape.
I thought he was going to interrupt you. I was waiting on it. The audacity of Dave. Yes, here we go.
Yes, please.
Because why the fuck, when I'm doing a tribute to one of the greatest comedians of all time, and someone who I was...
Again, John, this is not the Kennedy Center Honors. You found a clip from Howard Stern and you were going to play it and be like, isn't Sam funny?
But I would love to see... I'm sure there's clips somewhere of Howard like memorializing some celebrity that died, and John runs in with some, some story or something.
You ever seen the movie Swordfish, Howard?
I was just gonna say, listen to the Howard on 9/11 episode of Why You Laughing we just did. There's plenty.
A lot of people died that day, and John wasn't too concerned.
He's talking about boobs and shit. Like that was his concern. As a plane is hitting another tower. You've seen Swordfish.
Friends with his wife, friends with Sabrina, friends with Bill and Sherry.
I got a lot of friends.
Fuck would he destroy that with a hacky video inside a Sam montage?
Get there.
And I was
morphing into Florentine.
I didn't know what to say. I was blindsided. And I reacted in the fashion that one would react that just got blindsided.
To bring up 9/11 again, he's reacting to this like it was done during a tribute for 9/11 on 9/12. like you weren't taking it seriously enough. Sam's only been dead. The body's not even cold. It's only been 30 years, Dave. Take it a little more seriously, will you?
Corn Diff, $2. Hit the like button. Corn and thumbs up emojis and beers.
Yes, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe, tap the notification bell, all that good stuff. And go subscribe to Cardiff Electric's YouTube as well, will you?
Please.
Please. Dave was booted. His next clip.
Yeah, so he talks about why he kicked Dave off and why, they're still friends, but he's a persona non grata.
Because then he texted me, super unnecessary, John, and insulting. I'm the unnecessary one? I'm the insulting one?
You're definitely the unnecessary one.
I definitely won't be bothering you anymore. What the fuck did I do?
That should be tattooed on John's forehead. I've never done nothing wrong.
Do me a favor, keep my info private, which I always would.
He's already given
Unless I accidentally give it away.
Which he did.
I love, Cardiff, can I tell you, I love every time you point out the exact reason you will not give him your real name.
Well, he's given out DG's name in an episode, right?
Of course, yes, he gives.
Oh, okay.
Well,
full name.
He keeps doing this thing with. He keeps saying Carl's real name.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm not doxing you, by the way. It's on your LinkedIn page." And he keeps using this as the argument. So essentially, what he's saying is like, "Yeah, if you already know Carl's name, you can easily find it."
Yes. If you know the code to enter his house is 4736, then you would know how to get into his house. So it's
on his birth certificate. It's everywhere.
Yes. The last 4 digits of his social security. Who cares that it's 9723?
Yeah, if you work for Social Security, you could already find that if you wanted to. So
it'd be very funny if those were the real numbers Cardiff's giving out as a joke.
It would be, wouldn't it?
And then he promises me he's not going to do any other shows and I have his word. We'll see if that stands. And I wrote back, what you did was unnecessary. Don't put this on me.
Oh, that's good. John got across the bridge and he said, "Oh, Jesus, there's not a trail of lighter fluid behind me like there usually is. Let me make sure I light this one ablaze."
Next, we have slow realization.
Well, I just like that. This is every relationship John has, where DG is an incredibly boring guy, and I'm sure he was trolling John, but seems relatively harmless. And yet John still, even with this type of guy, is like, "Oh no, you don't. This is your fault, and don't you forget it."
Sorry, Mike. I have to interrupt.
Please.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan is okay.
Oh, thank God. I didn't know he was in peril at all.
Yes, he's fine. He's resting comfortably at home.
Okay, we don't have to do a tribute show for him yet. That's good.
To be fair, though, you could say that at any moment. I feel like he's been dying for 20 years.
Oh.
The best.
I'll go for that kind of humor here.
I do.
And then, after the show, I called Dave and I say, "What the fuck was that?" And he goes, "Hey, I was trying to be funny. I just learned how to edit. And I thought it would be funny, to put those idiots in there. And, that's why I did it. And
DG thinking he was funny was the wrong instinct. That's where I will correct him and say, swing and a miss, Dave.
and I explained to him, I go, Dave, come on, man. I go, you didn't tell me. I go, if you told me, then the joke could be with me. That I'm with you and and your joke. But by blindside,
I see things the way they are, and you see things. Wait a minute. How do you see things?
Yeah, when you put a tag on a video like that, you always want the other person to know that the tag is coming before you tag the joke. I'm waiting for him to start breaking down comedy.
And a tag, it's just like, it's a tag. It's a tag is what it is.
But by blindsiding me, then I'm the joke. Like, you're letting me, like, you didn't include me.
Here's the thing about Johnny. He's like, he wanted to say he's the joke, and by the time he got it out, he was like, I can't admit that. I gotta retreat here.
Reaction to be this whole time, how many of you chatters have been saying he's a troll? Now you all feel vindicated.
Because he was.
You just vindicated all of these guys.
Yes.
By doing that.
He was being himself.
When I'm trying to tribute my good friends.
We were resurrecting Sam Kinison. What don't you understand about that?
He would be alive today if DG didn't do that.
They were doing this. They were in the middle of the seance, and DG had to play his wacky games.
Now, unfortunately, Sam Kinison is stuck in the body of a doll running around Manhattan. It went wrong.
He could have had another one of his brilliant rants if it wasn't for DG.
Bastard. Here we have him explaining the tweet.
So this is where I thought things got a little nuts. Where this is like, hey, you messed up. You're the CEO of a company. You got to own this. DG is in a big important spot, and public relations is crucial when you are a man of DG's stature. And it's amazing that he doesn't know that.
So yesterday at 5:54 p.m. This is now
which time zone?
5 hours after the whole thing. And I wrote, no tweet, I figure. And he wrote, John, I've been busy all day.
What a bitchy. Imagine being friends with this guy. He is such a girl.
Was this
a passive-aggressive bitch.
What was the tweet he wanted him to send?
So John wanted Dave to tweet out, hey, by the way, all I know is that his name is Dave, and he sometimes goes by DG. I have no fucking idea how to find him on Twitter. So I don't know how many followers he has. But John thought it was crucial that Dave send out a tweet to all of his followers and say, guys, I wasn't trolling John. I made an error in judgment. I edited a video in a way that I thought was funny, but it turns out it was not. He wanted him to be a man and take ownership for his hijinks. And John thought that was the best public relations move. I don't know why he thinks that matters, like what that would change. But he really wanted him to tweet this out.
We discussed, I'm still out and about, and I'm meeting my girl at 7. So it might be after that. So in other words, everything in your world is more important than what just transpired with me.
Yes, of course. Yes.
If it wasn't, I would question his character highly.
Yeah. So your life to you is more important than my life is to me.
And I'll say this. A tweet takes literally 1 minute out of your life.
You type slow.
1 minute.
Yeah. Well, that's good. He wants to make sure Dave did it in haste. That's good. Don't put any thought into it, Dave. Just fucking throw something out there.
As he pushes the gun to the back of his head, it sends. He's paused. This is still.
But he doesn't tweet anything for 5 hours and says it's going to be after 7, after he sees his girl. Man, I really feel important, Dave.
This is like, in John's mind, the nation waits for Biden to make a statement after a disaster. Like, we're all like, what's Dave gonna do? How's he gonna calm the people?
Indian bra, $5. Don't. This is a John quote. Don't blame me. Blame Carl's parents. They doxed him when he was born. They put the info on the birth certificate.
First thing they did was tell that nurse his name. First thing.
This is the last clip from this show.
This section of John.
This section of John.
Yeah. So I just love that he's literally like, John does this all the time, but now he's literally saying like, how come I'm not more important to you? Like, that's kind of sad to watch, where really just John just wants, with Cardiff, he said this to you before, where he wants to be your friend. He wants to be Carl's friend. Like, John is desperate for friendship.
And really, the insult to injury is,
I'm injured.
My leg hurts.
That he didn't even tweet what he said he was going to do. You would think,
get the fuck over it. Oh my God.
Had any sense of urgency after he saw how angry I was, because I called him and I'm like, Dave, are you fucking kidding me? I was livid. Man, I wasn't screaming, because I'm not going to fucking scream at the guy.
Do you think Cosby's victims would have found solace if they were like, well, at least he tweeted about the issue? Like, everything's kind of forgiven now. He did tweet an apology out.
I'm going to be looking.
That's all they were asking for.
Yeah.
Just refused.
He would have been free the next minute. Yeah. I'm going to be scrutinizing Cardiff's Twitter today. He better have something nice to say about us.
Oh, yeah. Where's the... By 1 o'clock, we better see a tweet, Cardiff.
Yeah, before kickoff.
Yeah.
Just for the record, this entire time I've been hunting for DG on Twitter. I have no idea where to find him.
You couldn't, his name is Dave or DG. You couldn't find that if I paid you to.
It's a really uncommon name there.
But I was like, dude.
And
then he tells me he's not going to tweet it out until maybe 8 hours after the fact.
I like that in John's mind, he can't stomach the idea that somewhere in this world, let's say Carlos Danger is walking around thinking like, I guess Dave's not sorry. I haven't seen him tweet anything. I guess he's not sorry at all.
Now
Who
the
gives a
irony
fuck?
here, the irony here is DG is a Twitter genius.
Yes.
And he is actually he's done all the research. He knows the peak time to tweet this out so it hits the algorithm just right.
That's right.
And ride a wave.
It's that wave thing, just doesn't stop.
At
Maximum
Elon Musk.
exposure.
He knows all the hashtags.
Yeah.
When he could have just tweeted it out after we got off the phone. Think about it, folks. Isn't that proof that he really don't do? He has no respect for me.
Yeah, no one does.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't you know that, buddy?
Vinny's phone must have blown up this week.
John, I'm so sorry. No, none of us respect you. You didn't know that? I thought we made that pretty clear.
Speak for yourself.
Cardiff respects him.
Any respect, any remorse, he would have tweeted it out immediately. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, that's what John would have done, is take full ownership of his mistakes.
Hey, where's that Hyundai you owe me?
Again, you can't assume that anyone's going to act the way you're acting.
Aw.
You can't assume that everyone's going to be as magnanimous as me, John Melendez. Known for owning up to my mistakes. They call me Mr. Apology, John Melendez.
Yeah, he's a man of character and principle.
All right, so we're getting to his big speech
From Reddit, yeah.
Yeah, so this is from I took this from Dabblers Anonymous, but there's a longer. He did an episode yesterday. There's a lot more of this, but I thought the boys at Reddit picked the perfect length of time for us to play. Where this is like straight out of a movie. Cardiff, in your wisdom,
Yes.
is this a bit? Is it acting? What do you think this is?
I've watched this a few times now, and again, I got fooled. I got bamboozled by the
Always a
You
good
know,
one.
the lighting that he used after the Carl interview. Again, I had to go live immediately after that. I thought John was in distress.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think I'm too close. This is why police officers can't investigate crimes in their own family.
Right, of
Because they're
course.
too close to the issue.
I
don't know if
understand,
I don't know if I can be objective enough to determine what this is.
You've
I'm
been
not sure.
suckered by his authenticity. I get it.
I have.
Let me let you in on something.
Please.
I'm one man.
I mean, already this is movie poster stuff.
I paused it as he's wiping his nose.
For the record,
What a
though,
leader.
everything he said has been factual so far.
That's true.
You're not wrong. He's one man.
Yes.
Let me let you in on something. I'm one man who's a school teacher
Was.
who changed kids' lives for the better.
Have you spotted any lies yet, Cardiff?
No. All I know is any 57-year-old man who did something for about 6 months would be life-changing for them. That would be their entire life's purpose.
Well, I remember. I don't even remember who my regular teachers were. I just remember the substitutes when I was in high school because they were the real life changers.
Well, to be honest, I do remember a lot of the substitutes.
I remember them more than my regular teachers, to be honest.
Well, John goes later. It's not part of this, but he talks about and he's talked about this a lot. How he would walk down the halls, and the way he describes it, it's like paparazzi. It's like TMZ is after him. Mr. Melendez, you're our favorite teacher. Has anyone in any school in any nation ever done that to a teacher?
I'm just gonna read. There's a couple super chats here that have to do with what we just watched. So before we get too far away, Nimrod, $5. John sounds like a psycho stalker ex-girlfriend. Why is everything in your life more important than me?
That was like creepy. To be like, I think I have so much control over you that your life should revolve around pleasing me.
Dang Lizard, €5. To summarize, Stuttering John wanted DG to put out a statement of public apology for his comedy or get canceled. Hashtag hypocrisy police.
See, for the record, hold on, I have breaking news. I have found DG's Twitter.
Okay.
What everybody needs to do, if they want to find DG on Twitter, is go into your DMs and look for a DM from Kinky Loco, who sends you DG's Twitter. So Kinky Loco, if you could send that Twitter to everyone.
Yeah,
that
find everyone watching, if you could.
Please, I'll take it.
Yes. John was very upset that his 45 followers did not get the tweets.
A nation waits for DG to tweet.
American Cupcake, $5. I retweeted your son's band. A tweet takes a minute. It means nothing. Stuttering John.
Oh, that's a good point. I dare say that's hypocrisy. That he his big favor. He's like to Bob Levy. He's like, really, Bob? After all I've done for you, after I retweeted your son's band, and then as this guy pointed out, great point, that he's like, it's meaningless. A tweet is meaningless. Just fucking do it. Who cares?
Josh Nimiroff, $10. No comment. And American Cupcake, $2. Is that real?
That's it. Yes.
Okay. His handle is at Consigliere DG.
It's even a cornball in his fucking Twitter handle. Go follow DG so you can see his statement.
It's less effective than at Cardiff Elect on Twitter. Don't put the whole Cardiff Electric, just Cardiff Elect.
You pop up while we're typing.
I've received a myriad of cards and emails and texts.
I'm sorry. Can we go back? Because we need to feel the full effect. I'm going to let this play through because you have to really experience this. It's a movie speech that he's giving.
Exactly right.
Let me let you in on something.
Hackride's already following DG, apparently.
I'm one man who's a school teacher who changed kids' lives for the better. I've received a myriad of cards and emails
We've seen that.
and texts
Why they have your number?
from parents and students thanking me.
Hello?
It's choked up.
Get it together, John.
Urgent
Let him have
the
his
kids'
moment.
lives for the better.
Hold.
I have 3 loving kids
Mm.
who I will love unconditionally.
Would.
I
This
will
is
love
what the
mother.
Yankee game is supposed to prevent from happening.
I missed the Yankees game for this.
Loving family.
Can I just say though, I think my main issue with this, like, hey, if you get emotional talking about this stuff, more power to you. That's masculine of you to be that vulnerable on a podcast, I suppose. But the issue that I have is I think it's totally phony. Because the day before this, he'll be screaming at people. So what's the real John? Are you a beaten man who's on the verge of tears? Or are you the guy who doesn't care and is, playing whack-a-mole with the trolls and beating them down? Like, which is it, John? You can't be the tough guy and this soft, sensitive, choked up type.
Nimrod, $5. Norm Macdonald quote: "They say that the teachers are the real heroes, but you know who are the real heroes? The real heroes."
Yes, the teachers.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Dang Lizard, €5. In my school, substitute teachers were trolled until they ran out crying so we could get the class off. That's kind of how I remember it as
Now,
well.
here's why I do believe students loved John. Because they were like, oh, Mr. Melendez is in. He's going to be hungover, and we're not going to have to do any work.
And we know more than him.
Yay! Yeah, and we can outsmart this fucking idiot. So,
I've
yes, I do
literally-
believe the kids liked him. I don't know how many lives he changed, though.
I've literally stapled the dress of a substitute teacher to the bulletin board. So I enjoyed when the substitute teachers walked into class.
Me too.
Cardiff's been trolling since he was just a boy.
Yes.
The classic kick me sign.
Spitball time.
I have a loving mother, loving family.
This is tough.
And I don't deserve it.
This is based on nothing, by the way. This is a response to nothing new that has happened.
But can you replay that and just
Yeah.
listen to that segment?
I have a loving mother, loving family. And I don't deserve it.
Pause. Is that what he doesn't deserve? Or is it the treatment? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either, to be honest with you. But I don't understand. Like, now John's a victim, and this is, again, he's doing this tearful rant, but, like, nothing has changed. I don't know why all of a sudden he's crying about it when a week ago he decided not to teach because he was having so much fun taking down the trolls. What's the real John, Cardiff?
I don't know. I'm going to
Nick-
get to the bottom of it, though.
Nick
I have
West.
a plan. I have a
Nick
plan.
West, $2. No, for real. Mike's gay.
Hey, knock it off. I said nuh-uh. All right. Cardiff,
It's still
thank you
playing.
for...
I didn't choose
Oh,
this
it's still
fight.
going?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
We haven't seen the fruit yet.
I was just doing a political show. That's it.
Here we go. Now it's over. He's not paused again.
I was just a man in his politics, and I was taken down.
They take advantage of the Army Major.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's phony. I think John's doing an act for sympathy. Like, the same when we cried about his kids. John thinks, like, we're making fun of him for crying, but at least I'm sure some people are. But me, I'm making fun of you because I think it's a complete act. I think you're being a phony, and you're trying to get people on your side. You haven't figured out how you want to take Carl and Shuley down so badly, but you haven't figured out a good approach because everyone that's watching you is there to laugh at you, not them. So you haven't figured out how to rally people, and you're trying everything. You're trying the tough guy act. You're trying the I'm going to sue you act, and now you've resorted to crying and trying to drum up sympathy, and you don't understand why that's not working either. That's my main issue with John.
I'm gonna start working with John this week. We're gonna start working on his one-man show that we
Please.
will have touring the world. The world.
Blue state, red state.
I imagine the room is completely black, and then a spotlight shines on John, and he just says, "Sam Kinison," and then the tribute begins.
Just John in a rocking chair with one light, maybe a pipe. Oh, I'm serious. This is gonna happen.
I hope you're right. I want it to very badly. The one-man show.
Yeah.
All right. Cardiff, thank you for joining us, buddy. Tell the people once more where they can find you.
Patreon.com/Cardiff Electric and YouTube.com @Cardiff Electric.
Yeah, and apparently Kevin Brennan has been laughing at his Patreons, so go subscribe, guys. Get those numbers up for Cardiff.
Every time Kevin Brennan tweets out a picture of my dismal Patreon numbers that he so likes to make fun of, I get 2 or 3 more patrons. So keep going, Kevin Brennan. Thank you.
Yeah, go subscribe. We like Cardiff. Go watch Subreddit Surfing tomorrow night with our buddy Vinny Paulino. By the way, Vinny's going to be on Why You Laughing this week as well, so keep an eye out for that. Cardiff, thank you, buddy.
Remember, it only takes 1 minute to talk about how much fun you had on this program via Twitter. So I expect to see something.
Oh, yeah. It only takes a minute, so tweet out how much you love us, Cardiff.
Yeah, but I'll wait for the Twitter golden hour.
8 hours? 8 hours Cardiff had to tweet.
It'll be 3 days from now.
Yes. I'm just waiting for the algorithm. I'm watching the charts. Once it hits peak, visibility, then I will tweet it out.
All right. Cardiff, thank you, buddy. Enjoy your Sunday.
Galaga.
All right, brother. Galaga. All right. I figured we couldn't, when Cardiff's here, you want to be fun, you want to be silly. This is a very, very serious matter we're getting into. Timestamp.
Already did.
So I tweeted the other night. It's enough with Tom Myers. We've been cute long enough. Playtime is over, Tom. We're not tickling your belly anymore. Now we're just straight up talking about what an asshole you are. I'm not doing the act where we pretend we like you and we pretend you're kind of funny. You're just a prick. At every turn, we've tried to make you likable, and you have just proven time again that you are a thoughtless loser who doesn't understand comedy. But worse than that, you're a bad guy. So we have to disown you now, and we have to talk about what a fucking moron you are. Because he's gone after our boy, the top dog, Shane Gillis. And that's a no-no on this program.
It is. And I would play intro music right now for this Tom Meyer segment, but I found out that's got us flagged 3 times.
Okay, well, he doesn't deserve it. Tom's not getting us demonetized. Hack Ride is the only one that does that around here.
Yeah, and immediately, too. Just get it over with.
So, Shane Gillis had a Netflix special come out this week, September 5th, I think it came out. And it was great, as expected. Beautiful Dogs on Netflix, it's called, which is a reference to something Trump said when Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died.
Al-Baghdadi died like a dog.
We sent in dogs, beautiful dogs.
Very funny.
Now, I thought for sure the joke that got Shane in trouble, and maybe he kind of telegraphed us thinking this, because he mentions in the special, he goes, if this one gets on, it means I won an argument.
Yes.
Where he said he's talking about people with Down syndrome and guys he knows that are staring at girls' tits and everything. And he's like, listen, I never thought that being gay was a choice, but the one thing I do know is that all the guys I know that can't think fucking love pussy. I thought that might get him in a little hot water. But no one seems too mad about that. It was funny. And I think the great thing about Shane's special is similar to like Burr and Louis. And someone pointed out he's got a lot of Norm in him for sure. Mm-hmm. But the Louis comparison that I think of is basically Shane presents a topic where you might be like, there are people that will judge him in a certain light. And then he kind of gets you on his side. Like you're like, oh, shit, that's actually a good point.
Right.
And Burr's known for that as well. So Shane does a really good job with that, and he's talking about how America's number 1, and he says that basically Australia is number 2. So we have that clip, right?
The Australia joke.
Yeah, from Netflix as a joke tweeted this out, and that's what sparked some controversy here.
No, Australia's good. I was shitting on Australia. Australia might be number 2. That's a good country, dude. Just a whole country doing nothing. That's what I like about them. They're just down there. 0 exports. Creating nothing, dude. They're doing, the only export I've seen come out of Australia is just that YouTube video of that guy punching that kangaroo in the face. Yeah. You know that video? That kangaroo holding that dog hostage out in the woods. Owner shows up, squares up with the kangaroo. No hesitate. Kangaroo knew it was a fight, too. Guy just fucking... If you've seen the video, you know how good that impression is. Yes. Australia gave us that.
So that's the joke that people are mad about?
It was very serious.
I don't even get it. There's a weird thing that happens, like Segura dealt with this with, I think it was at Louisiana that he got in trouble?
With the bikes?
I don't know, but I forget. I think it was Louisiana where he called them just a bunch of retards, basically.
Oh.
and people get up in arms. If someone trashed Massachusetts, I'm not such a basic moron that I would hear that and be like, hey, he's talking about me. I live there. The fuck are you talking about? So there's articles written out. Do you have the article that I sent you?
Yes. Let me pull that up.
Covering Shane Gillis, where they're like, a little weird. He said we have no imports when I actually have a whole list right here. It's like, it was a joke. I don't know. He wasn't being serious.
Jokes are no laughing.
He wasn't saying that your economy is literally crippled. Your GDP is 0. These weren't literal statements. He was making jokes about Australia.
Yeah, it's from the Daily Mail.
Okay, so they give they're like pretty weird of him to make these jokes, and then they list like actual imports exports in Australia.
I'm looking for the list right now. Uranium, coal, meat, wool, gas, gold, wheat, copper, iron
Doesn't
ore.
this big Down syndrome fella know that?
Iron ore, alcohol, aluminum, crude petroleum. No, we don't export anything.
You got me. Yeah, he wasn't being literal. So anyways, that's honestly, at this point, I think bloggers and journalists, quote unquote, know the business well enough to know Shane is a name that will probably get clicks. So if we pretend we're mad about his Australia joke, if we take on the gripe of a whole nation, then maybe we can go at this guy and get a little traction. So it got some attention, I guess. But the only reason I heard about it is because one man in the comedy scene was brave enough to take it on. And this is not the first time Tom Myers has thrown shade at our buddy Shane Gillis. So what did Tom say about the whole situation?
So he, on Instagram, posted the New York Times article on it.
Yep.
Or New York Post. Just talking about how pissed off Australians were. And his caption says, I've said this before in private, but I'll say it again here.
Whoa! We're getting a little peek behind the curtain. Tom's taking a sledgehammer and breaking down that fourth wall for us.
Yes, he is. Shane Gillis either doesn't think things through before he says them on a public platform, or he's an idiot, or both. The only thing doing nothing is his brain activity.
Whoa! Tom Myers!
Bong transplant.
What a tough guy. I love when you think you're so cool that you preface it with, listen, guys, I've had the courage to say this in private, but now I'm ready to go public. As if people would be like, Tom, your career, you can't say that. The Havre de Grace Opera House won't book you. You know Shane controls that.
So,
you know Shane wields a lot of power in the underground Baltimore comedy scene. How are you going to get booked anywhere?
Right. people weren't nice to him in the comments.
Oh no.
So he felt the need to take one of his replies and take a screenshot of one of his replies and post that on Instagram again. And that, he's weird.
Can I say for a second though, is like Tom doesn't remember the great interview we played in the Tom Myers episode of Why Are You Laughing, where he's talking about his job and he says it's just like, you know, a policeman running to a crime scene or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's my job. It's what I do.
Yeah.
Tom understands that a comedian pushes boundaries. Tom and Shane are the same. These are guys that get edgy and get in trouble for it. Doesn't Tom understand that that's what you do when you... I don't get why he's taken up this cause with specifically Shane, and yet Tom also pretends to be like comedy's bad boy. Like, I'm willing to say, guys, I'm willing to make a joke about Donald Trump. No one else really does that, but I'm willing to take on the tough issues.
No, I'll go there.
The British are coming, dudes.
Yeah, so his post, his caption on the bottom was, when I'm punching up and someone responds, quote, Tom, please, he has a family. Then I'm like, ... And then it says hashtag Tomtown, hashtag Tom Myers. And then
Can I tell you what I love about Tom and John and all these people? The reason they're great characters, and the reason I think Kevin Brennan might fit into this, is because they're so delusional that they lose touch with reality.
Yeah.
Someone replying to Tom and saying, Tom, please stop, he has a family. That's obviously a Cumtown fan that thinks it's hilarious that Tom's going after Shane.
Right. But the last hashtag is Momentum.
Oh my God.
And the picture he posted was... this was his response to someone saying that he blocks out their @ so they get no credit.
Oh man, that's devastating.
I have 3 nieces, 2 nephews, a Patreon, and a podcast on which a new season drops on September 28th. Your point?
He's plugs in.
Your point after that.
I like that Tom's comeback is, I mean, I was birthed from human beings. I have relatives.
Yeah.
I know what having a family's like. Yeah, I was just annoyed at Tom because I was like, we wanted to like you, man, but you have to be so unlikable at every turn. Richard Ojeda is the only one. I see people criticize Richard Ojeda's politics all the time. He's the only man that stands out among these fucking blithering morons as someone that can take a joke and roll with it.
Right.
Richard Ojeda is the only guy that would come on here and have fun. Tom Myers is a loser who doesn't understand comedy. It's amazing to go after... If you're not a comedian if you're going after Shane Gillis. He's the best comedian working right now. And I think his new special and his first special are both clear signs of that. And Tom Myers put out Make America Innate Again. So for one of you to moralize on comedy is pretty laughable, Tom.
Yeah, and he didn't have anything bad to say about the passing of Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, well, I believe Red from Maine sent us this.
Yes, he
where
did.
He said, hey, you know, rules for thee and not for me, as they say.
I had a few weed gummies last night, and I thought Tom Myers posted about Red on his Instagram. I was like, no way.
Hey, he takes out the big dogs. He takes out Shane Gillis, and then he comes from number 2, you know?
Yeah. And then I fell asleep, and I woke up to him like, can you please send me the fucking screenshot? I misread it.
Take it easy. How you doing? The Ozempic getting you?
No. I was just, not being able to swallow because straight as hell.
Too much cum backed up.
I'm straight as hell, dude. Tom Myers. I don't even know what this is on. Mastodon? I've never heard of it.
Yeah. He doesn't use Twitter unless he's going to insult me.
That's right.
But yeah, he's on Mastodon.
Yeah, he wrote, I know people get bummed out about the end of summer, but Jimmy Buffett really took it hard this time.
Whoa, Tom, insensitive.
Wow.
But that's where Tom's like a retard. He doesn't know. He really is. Where he's like, guys, I've said this in private. He's so brave that he's going to make fun of Shane Gillis and then say, I punch up.
That was him. That he posted that screenshot on Instagram like he's been doing everything for some reason. And the caption is, "This is your reminder that Twitter/X sucks and to follow me on Mastodon." And that's what he posted.
Yeah, Twitter wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Too far, man.
But yeah, he's a fucking loser.
Yeah. So, I mean, I will say, when I reread my tweet, maybe it came off like I was being a little more serious than I was. But I will say I'm done playing nice with Tom Myers. It's all the idea of him coming on and having fun with us is now dead. Unfortunately, you went at my guy. You know.
Yeah, we have a video clip of someone threatening him to come on here.
Oh, that's right. Well, I would just say to this person, we don't need him on anymore. All right, your job got a little easier.
Ceasefire. This is the great Joey C.
But Joey C. Yeah, you know. He's our buddy, I guess. I didn't realize that, but I appreciate him having our back.
Who is Tom Meyer?
Oh, yeah. Where's Tom Myers? Is he here? Is he here? Yeah, that rat. He's been running from my boy, Blind Mike. If you're here, you better go make an apology to Blind Mike, Tom
Damn
Myers.
straight, Joey.
I don't appreciate it.
He gave me a birthday. He was in the birthday video.
That's right. Tom Myers was.
Tom
Yeah,
Myers.
he's running. He's supposed to be over there on Blind Mike's show, and he's running from Blind Mike. He's afraid of Blind Mike.
That's
I've been summoned by the Dabbleverse to go get him. I don't have anything personal, Rick Honeycutt.
That sounds so frightening. I was summoned by the Dabbleverse to go get him.
You know what? I take it back, Joey. Your mission still stands. Keep going.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
I like that Joey C and Tom Myers are rivals now because of us, I guess.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right. One other story in the world of comedy we have to get to before we sign off and watch some football here, for God's sake, on a Sunday. We won't be live, by the way, the next couple weeks, right? You said you can't?
On Sundays. I can on Fridays.
Okay. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep that in mind scheduling-wise, folks, for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Timestamp!
I already did. I'm on top of it today.
Yeah. So, you guys know in a couple weeks I'm going to Skankfest. I go every year. It is very annoying that I'm going to miss that live. Because I know I'm not going to find out who the new Kirk producer is, but they're not going to tell me. So I have to wait on Twitter. I'll be refreshing all day. It's very sad.
I'll be there representing the show.
Keep me posted.
I will text you as soon as I find out.
Thank you. Yes. But yes, I will be there, and I think it's a great comedy festival. I think it's I think the best event in stand-up because I think it's a party. I think it puts a lot of comics on display and makes them feel like rock stars in a way they wouldn't otherwise get to. And so I think it's pretty cool. And one of the staples of that event every year is Kill Tony, Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast, where they basically have open up micers come on and do 1 minute of stand-up and then critique it. It's a pretty cool concept. Tony's been doing it forever, and he's done it every year at Skankfest until now, where Lewis has been smacked in the face by Tony Hinchcliffe. So Red Bar has been on to Hinchcliffe for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pointed out some things over the years that I think are true, but overall I thought, Tony's funny and, he's well-liked by comics and everything. In this and I've been listening to Kill Tony for the last few weeks. I never did before, but I started recently. And there's a smugness to Tony Hinchcliffe that I'm noticing. And I don't know if it's the new Austin crowd that, he's one of the princes of Austin now, that he thinks he runs shit. But there is a smugness that's really on display here, so I thought we should point it out.
Yeah, and before we move on real quick, Hackride says, "Don't worry, Mike, I'll produce you." If that's something that would help you on
good
Sundays.
point. Good point. I forget Hackride's around. That's a good point.
Don't say that out loud.
Thank you, buddy.
But here's the first clip.
All the fans that love you and have loved you for fucking years, that's untaped and only special for the people at Skankfest. I feel like that would be the proper way to do the final Kill Tony at Skankfest.
Is Kill Tony done?
Wait, no, this is there should be a clip before this, no?
No, this is the first one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let me check here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there's only 4.
Do you have the full video? Can you go back a little bit?
Yeah, 1 second here. I will get it. Kill time.
What are the? How do I have them labeled?
Kill Tony, bumping
Just play the
Zach.
clip. Just play the clip, and I'll fill in any blanks I need to.
Okay. Is this the last Kill? Is it coming to an end?
No, I'll explain.
Okay.
All of the fans that love you and have loved you for fucking years, that's untaped and only special for the people at Skankfest. I feel like that would be the proper way to do the final Kill Tony at Skankfest.
I not in the raffle, not in the raffle, not in the raffle, not in the raffle. Well, I have news for you. We actually did the final Kill Tony at a Skankfest, the last Skankfest. It was a big deal, and you chose not to celebrate. Not on the raffle, not in the raffle.
Damn. Damn. Then Tony books me on Kill Tony. He's like, he's doing a special cool. Me and Zach and Kill Tony. Then he texts me.
All right, so what we missed here is we missed a crucial clip that pretty much set up the entire thing. So I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. But but basically, Tony messaged Lewis and was like, we're not doing Kill Tony at Skankfest. I'm gonna go, but Kill Tony is an arena act now, and basically we're too big to do it at Skankfest. Now, I'm not conveying it properly. We had clips to set this up. Maybe we'll talk about it next week because these are all fucked up now, apparently.
Was that not the right one? Any of them?
Well, the whole thing's not set up now, so fuck it. I don't know. What's the next clip?
The next one is 1 second here. Fuck. Here's Cardiff. The next one is bumping Zach and Lewis.
Yeah. All right. Never mind. This was fucked up. Anyways, Tony Hinchcliffe's an asshole, and moving on, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't need to timestamp this one, I suppose.
Okay.
Jesus. All right. Well, whatever.
Everyone wants us to talk about it still.
All right. Well, let's play. I'm sorry. Let's play the clip then. Maybe I can do a better job setting it up.
Should I finish the first one or move to the second one?
Yeah, finish the first one.
All right.
Now, we're for the first time ever doing rotating guests on Kill Tony because these are in town. So me and Zach are being bumped off of Kill Tony for Shane, Ari, and Mark Norman on Monday night.
So you can't go to the video now? Just go to the video and go around the timestamp I sent you?
I can. I just I got to scrub.
Because the text that he sent is pivotal in making him look like an asshole here.
I thought he reads the text in a later clip.
That's what I'm trying to find.
Oh, that might be in let's see here.
It should have been the first clip.
Bumping Zach, Smug, and Rattled. I think Rattled is the one where they read the clip.
I think you're wrong, but
I could be wrong.
Why don't you listen to these ever?
I do. Now I'm trying to remember a specific point.
Okay.
Because I'm fired now. Says Scotty Jones.
Hackride wouldn't have done this to me.
No, he wouldn't have. Yeah, I had 4 clips from this.
Okay. Well, play the next one, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Bumping Zach and Lewis. Here we go.
Wow. I take a nap and a shower and I come here and you read my text messages, Lewis?
Oh, you Jonah Hill?
That's how Lewis...
How is the text not in the clip before that? He's addressing the text message.
Maybe. I don't know. I have 4 clips. That was the timestamps I was sent. Let me pull it up.
Whatever. Guys, go listen to Real Ass Podcast. Tony Hinchcliffe comes off as an asshole. I don't know. We'll never break it down. Go watch Red Bar. He does a better job.
What was do you remember off the top of your head what the text was? Roughly?
Yeah, I remember it verbatim. That's why I wanted the clip, so that I could say it. Yeah, it made him look like an asshole. It was funny because Lewis goes, blah, 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 and Tony says, well, the blah, blah, blah is I was saying we're an arena act. And Lewis goes, yeah, I was trying to save you from looking like a prick.
Yeah, I've always kind of got that feel from him. And the only time I've ever seen him, I think I've talked about it on the show before, was when Ari and Big J and him and I think Bert were talking about how much money they got for a certain gig, and he was way below them. And that was the only time I could see him like kind of put in his place.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an act because he seems well liked by comics, but he comes off as very smug and arrogant. And in this, he's kind of talking down to them. And what they're talking about here is not only is he like kind of snubbing Skankfest and shitting on them by not doing it, because there's no reason he can't. He kind of makes it seem like contractually he's not allowed to. He's like, we're only doing it in Austin now because we're an arena act. But like,
is that true though?
I don't think so. I think so. What he's referring to is they're playing an arena on New Year's Eve or something like that.
Right.
And I'm sure Rogan's going or something. I'm sure they have like a lot of people going. But like the whole thing, and this is where I worry about a lot of comedians, is like, you should do that shit at Skankfest. And it's why like I think Kirk talks about this all the time with the model that he does with live shows, where he can sell out a 1,500 seat theater and then he'll play a restaurant in Magnolia, Mississippi.
Right.
You know, you kind of give the people a cool experience and then a bigger live show. But like both cool experiences, but for different reasons. So you can do an arena, Tony, and you can also do a smaller room at Skankfest that's more intimate that people will remember, and that kind of, you know, scratches the belly of your core fan base. So I thought that was a real douchey move. And then the douchier thing, I think, is to bump Zach and Lewis. So what they're talking about is on, I think, the episode that comes out tomorrow of Kill Tony. For the only time they've ever done this is they're having Lewis and Zach on as guests, but then like halfway through the show or a quarter way through the show, getting rid of them and bringing in Ari, Mark, and Shane because they're bigger names. Which is like, just do one or the other. Don't fucking insult them by removing them partway through the show.
Or just do a second show the next day. I'm sure they could squeeze you in somewhere.
You could do whatever, whatever you want. Or tell Lewis and Zach, like, we can't have you on this week because Ari, Mark, and Shane are going to come back in a month or something. You know? It just seemed very douchey to me, and we won't be able to display that with audio, but I hope I explained it well.
Would you like to continue?
Sure.
Me that. Oh, no. Lewis just told me. That's how I just found
Yeah,
that
we're
out.
being bumped.
You didn't tell me that.
We're being bumped for our more famous friends. And it hurts.
And
they don't need the help. They're fucking famous already.
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be your guys' most watched episode of being guests on Kill Tony.
Why don't we just all do it? Can we all fit?
Yeah, we're all going to do it.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
At some point at different parts of what I decide tomorrow.
It's weird. Like, even Norman's like, let's just all do it. And Tony's like, no. These guys aren't worthy of being on the stage with you. It's very weird.
Everyone but Tony is like, we should just all do it.
Yeah, like they all want, it's just they want to hang. And I don't understand what the big deal would be if there's 5 people versus 3. It's the same, it's a better show, I would think, in that atmosphere.
Plus, you don't see Shane uncomfortable very often. He does not like being up there right now.
He likes it. Once we get to the end, you'll see he likes it. But Norman also had a great line where he said, he goes, yeah, we're going to rotate you guys in and out with them. And talking about Amico, Mark goes, if Zach rotates, we might lose a day. Brilliantly quick.
I think that is in this clip.
Okay.
One of these.
Well, good luck moving Zach.
Tony, Zach has to sub in for the drums.
Yeah. Zach has to show. They have to put Zach in at 2:00 in the afternoon. And they seat the show around him.
It's like,
I mean, how will David Lucas be able to call 7 different things gay?
Okay, yeah, this is where the clips must have got fucked up, I guess, because this part we shouldn't have had in. But,
oh, okay.
To each their own. Now we know. We're all caught up. So let's move to the next one.
Okay. We have Smug. It's just Smug.
This is pretty much what you think from Tony. I hope.
No, you're actually a gay guy.
Okay, these are all way off. These are all way off.
Oh, there must have been an ad in one of these or something.
All right. Yeah, maybe that could be it.
I know one of the clips does end with the rotating joke, so that seemed like it was.
Yeah, no, they're all fucked up. But you get the point. Go watch Real Ass Podcast. It was a funny one.
Yes.
You didn't get that from us describing it, but you can imagine.
There was a barrel of laughs. I swear.
Yeah. All right. No Hack Ride game this week. This feels weird to end the show like this without Hack Ride.
I know he
Some
did
people
have
will
the
be
blues.
happy, but
He did have the blues, but
yeah, that's a tough sign. I'll say if I was measuring Steve units for Hack Ride, that'd be a rough S grade. But
that would be bad. But
yeah, Hack Ride, lighten up. You do a great job, buddy. I don't know why you get so bummed out. I think I'm sure it seems like a lot of people, if like people are in the chat being like, "What the fuck? Why isn't the show up yet?" At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You know, that stuff dies down pretty quickly. So don't beat yourself up over it. You do a fine work.
almost none of them watch it in full right then. Anyways, they go back and forth and back.
And
and
they're
forth.
just being, and I say this lovingly, they're being assholes. They're just trying to rattle your cage a little bit. You know?
Yeah. The only other thing we have, I don't know if you even want to get to it, is Mike Lindell.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, what the hell? Let's play it.
All right.
Time to kill before the games start here.
We have this is him during the Dominion. I don't even know what this is. He's just
I
being
just came
questioned.
across this on Reddit, and I figured after our Alex Jones segment last week, why not end with a crazy man ranting?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not asking about the lumpy pillow calls.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on. Okay. That when you say lumpy pillows, now you're an asshole. You got that? You're an asshole, is what you are. No, he's an asshole.
No,
he's an ambulance chasing asshole. That's what you are.
I like that that's too far. Dominion sued him for $1 billion. And he's like, now I've seen enough. This is too much to handle.
Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass. Put that in your book. No, they answer anything, any problem customer that wants to reach Mike Lindell. Those are the ones. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. I want to talk to Mike Lindell.
I don't know if do you have a MyPillow by any chance?
I don't.
Well, actually, never mind. I was about to say something and I realized they sponsor a different show I'm on. Carry on. Never.
They're great.
They're so good and not lumpy or tough on the neck at all.
This guy was wrong.
They send them to here and they go, or they call about maybe they didn't get their pillow on time because of the FedEx or whatever. Well, we'll cover them even though it could be somebody else's fault. Nobody called because of a lumpy pillow. But good one though.
You done?
Good one though.
The question goes, "Are you done?" That's very funny.
Yeah, I'm done.
What I'm saying.
Obviously, you don't have a MyPillow too. You don't, do you?
He's like, no, that's the issue. I
What
do.
I'm
Me and
saying
Craig
is-
have them. We know the struggles of a MyPillow.
I haven't gotten a good night's sleep yet, and you never will.
Guys, everyone let Jerry know that Craig is bashing MyPillow here on this program.
Nope, I almost possibly could have. You'll never know.
It's impossible to say. It's very hard to read which direction you were going.
I haven't thrown it in the trash. I'll say that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, Mr. Lindell.
Asshole. Oh, go ahead. No, I'm pissed.
I understand.
No, go. When you're saying what?
That guy's a psycho.
I didn't even know what this was about. I was just like, it's funny. I'm just going to send it to Craig. Maybe
Well, I
we'll
know.
get to it.
It was part of the Dominion lawsuit. He was being questioned for it because he's like, they were stolen from Trump. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
And so he had to get questioned by lawyers, and that's what happens.
So yeah, I'm glad we played that. That cheered me up a little bit. And the program.
Yeah.
So everyone go enjoy your football Sunday. But first, make sure you go to blindmike.net. Oh, before we plug here, I do want to grill you about this.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say who it was.
Yep.
I won't reveal my source on this, but I'll say he called me outraged at yet another very good show scam that appears to be in the works.
What's that?
Craig, with no irony on his show the other day, says, and I've heard the clip, I'm stunned that nothing got mentioned.
Who is the source?
I'll never tell.
Yeah.
Let's just say you don't want him investigating broken glass.
Broken glass, and I don't want his second TikTok to be about me.
Yeah. So he calls me and he's like, "You're not gonna believe this, Mike. Craig, with no irony, no nod to the fact that he's already scammed the people once,
Mhm.
is trying to get a snowboard weekend together
Oh,
and,
that
and
was-
dupe his patrons into traveling up to Vermont to snowboard with him.
Yeah, New Hampshire, but I said
I'm
maybe.
sorry, New Hampshire.
I did say maybe. I did not fully commit to this one. I can say that.
Guys, you know, keep your snowshoes in the closet, I would say. That's never gonna happen. This ski trip.
Well, no, it's a lot easier because I have a house up there, and so does Tim, pretty close by, and it's a lot easier.
How did Tim recognize me when I wasn't in the background of Legion of Skanks?
He actually sent me a picture. He goes, "Is this Mike?" Because he was up in the nosebleeds, and you had terrific seats, from what I gathered. And
What do you have, binoculars? Was he combing through every person? How the fuck did he spot me?
you were from his vantage point, like top left of eyesight.
Okay.
So stage right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a creep.
He wanted to say hi, but he was like, "Is this him?" And I go, "I think so."
Say hi. Was he gonna jump down from the balcony?
I think he assumed after, which is what I think happened.
Yes. Yeah, I saw him after. It's odd because he claims he doesn't know who I am.
Mike?
Strange.
Or Tim?
Yeah, he told Justin that he knows me because I was on Legion of Skanks, which is not true. I've never been on the program.
He said first heard of you, I think, was his actual phrase.
It's not possible.
It could have been during the we had the clip somewhere, the Louis J. Gomez and KFC stuff.
You were on this show. He never heard of me because you were on this show?
Yeah.
He pays his rent with his Patreon.
You're damn right I do.
Those good days.
Blind Mike.
Damn right.
Blind Mike, who used to work for Barstool. Blind Mike, go watch Blind Mike Geary's podcast. Blind Mike.
Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Finally, Lewis talking about something I want him to be talking about.
That happened in a while where like an ad fucks up the timestamps.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It was I'm sure I was annoyed. I'm sure I seemed annoyed at you. I was annoyed that it was happening, but I'm sure
I know there was a clip, so it was part of the video, so I didn't think anything of it, but there was an ad at the very beginning for Lewis's half hour, so I don't know if that was added after the fact.
I don't know. YouTube, we usually don't have that problem.
Yeah, and the timestamps you gave me ended perfectly on stuff, so I assumed they were just correct.
That's very, very nice. Well, it's a funny interaction, gang. I know you didn't gather any of that from this show, but use your imagination.
We swear to God.
So yeah, go to Very Good Show if you want a good scam, if you want to be wandering around New Hampshire in December.
Yeah.
And again be saying, "Where's Craig?"
I'll be on the top of the slopes, brah.
Yeah, sure. I don't even know what Craig benefits. He must be one of these guys that just gets hard knowing he's duped people.
That would be one of those things where I'm going snowboarding. I'll let you know where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go to verygoodshow.org for all that, those hijinks and hilarity. And go to blindmike.net to support this show. And not just this show, but you can also find links to Why You Laughing and Who Are These Socials. By the way, Who Are These Socials this week. Carl took his own life after the technical problems of last Thursday.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm looking for a new co-host in the meantime. So we'll know Who Are These Socials this week, but usually you can get us Thursdays at 6. All the audio links are at blindmike.net if you'd rather listen the next day or after. And obviously the links for this program. If you want to become a YouTube member, boy, do they make it annoying, but it's possible.
You need to earn it.
Go do that if you'd like. Or a little easier if you want to subscribe on Patreon. You get bonus episodes of Why You Laughing every single month. You get the free episodes of Why You Laughing a week early. You get to watch Quincy with us there on Patreon. And I think next week the episode will be up early on Patreon of Blind Mike Project. We'll see how we do it, but who knows?
You got super chats in at the wire here real quick before you
all
off
right.
completely.
Blindmike.net.
Dang Lizard twice. Stuttering John never tried prepping and doing a good show.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. And Dang Lizard again, €5. Not another scam. I'm still mad at crossing the Atlantic for a meetup that never was. Insightful Mike can't read a room or a timestamp.
I do all these goddamn timestamps. They're rarely wrong.
They are rarely wrong.
It's very annoying.
I agree.
Immediately, I knew, this is all wrong then. There's no way.
Well, there's a chance on the first one that I slightly fucked it up, or it was like 10 seconds off and the rest could have been fine. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
guessing
don't
there
know.
was an ad.
It was very annoying, but go to about 44 minutes into the Real Ass Podcast, and
Yes.
you guys will get what I was going for.
Exactly.
Yeah, so go subscribe. Thank you for the super chats, folks. Very kind of you. And, tap that notification bell and all of that. And we'll talk to you guys later.
And we have a meme transition.
Separate.